Hey guys, welcome back to the biggest agricultural platform in Namibia, known as Nduna Wengombe, which means headman of cattle. My name, of course, Mitchell Mutumba Simata, aka the headman of cattle. So today on the today on this Monday, the 6th of February, I want to talk about ear tagging. I want to talk about tagging and branding your animals. I know people will be there like, Mitchell, why are you going to talk about this? Why you got to talk about branding? We all know this. We've been farming for a minute. I know this. The experienced guys, as I always mention it, know when to brand, when to tag, and so forth. But there are farmers out there who still do not understand the importance of tagging and branding their animals. So I want to talk about it. I know I mentioned it also in the video where I spoke about stock theft, about why it's important to brand your animals and to tag your animals. But today I want to touch on it a bit. Let's focus on branding. So, firstly, this is the first thing you do when you decide that you want to become a livestock keeper. And I'm saying a producer of goats, cattle, whether it's goats, cattle, sheep, or goats, cattle, sheep, or any other animal you'd love to keep, you'd need to apply to your meat board, which is in Namibia, it's called the meat board. That department of meat board, it's what issues the identification cards for you to be a producer. So after you do the application, there'll be a form you'll have to fill in. You'll have to fill in, of course, things like a date of birth, name, where you reside, where you're going to keep these animals, and how many animals you're going to keep. All this information will be there. This you can obtain at the meat board of Namibia. If you're in Namibia, in South Africa, I'm sure it's a different department, but in Namibia, it's meat board. And after you have completed all of that, you would receive um, a stock brand act certificate of registration of brand. You get that, which is this form. I hope it's clear. This form, you'd get this form from Midboard. They would issue you with this. After you obtain this with your own identification number, this is your livestock identification number, this is your producer identification number. After you receive that, then you could go ahead and get your branding iron made. This is how mine looks like. That's my branding iron. That's my branding iron. So after you receive this, after you've gone through that whole process of obtaining your registration, let me see. Don't I have my card also? Yeah, you you receive a card. You receive a membership card, something like this. Okay, that with of course head your head number back there, and you'd also receive a producer registration card, which is this. This is now when you do everything at through Meatboard or your state vet, you'd receive that. So these are the things that you need to have. Those, and then you get your certificate over there, and then now you are ready to go. After you receive that, you are now allowed to not make, but you can go to the state vet, or you can go to a person who probably can produce for you. If you want to produce your own stock brand, your own brand iron, you can go to somebody who can produce it for you with your identification number. That's the first thing. And then from there on, you can start buying ear tags. Ear tags, in Namibia, our ear tags are yellow in color. These are the type of ear tags. These are the two type of ear tags we obtain. As you can see, the big one always goes on the right side of the animal. The small one always goes on the left side of the animal. That's how you're supposed to tag. And after you obtain this, after you get your tag, you get a bag of ear tags. Let me see, don't I have this? Such as this. It's actually finished. But such as this, you get a bag, a white bag like this, where you apply for your ear tags either through Midboard, if there's a Midboard office there, and you can apply through Midboard. If you live in Windhoek but your animals are in Katima, you can apply through Midboard and probably pick them up at the state vet in Katima, or you could pick them up at Agra. I don't know if Agra can still issue them, but back in the day we used to be able to pick them up at the Namibian agricultural store. So you get this bag. Inside this bag would be your ear tags, the yellow ear tags with the yellow ear tags with the numbers and so forth. This one comes two-sided, the front number and the back number. This is also two-sided, the front and the back. So you'd get this bag would be filled with those. So from there on, after obtaining that bag, within that bag, it would also come with such a form. Such a form. This form is your animal registration card. It's your ear tag card. This is the card you fill in after you've tagged your animals. So after you've gotten your ear tags and you have now sorted them out, and you have now gone into your crawl and you have now you've selected the animals that need to be tagged, you put on your ear tags. And after you put on your ear tags, your personalized ear tags, not personalized, but your unique ear tags with your unique ear tag numbers, you fill in this form. On this form, it would say livestock keeper, which would be you, the farmer, your name, and where the animals are kept. And then it would give you classes such as calf male, calf female, heifer, cow, bull, or ox. You would you would indicate what type of animal this is, whether it's a bull, a heifer, or whatever type. You would indicate this. And then from there on this form, it would also ask you, do you know the breed of the animal? If you know that, okay, it's a Brahman, you write there Brahman. And then it will ask you where the animals are kept. If it's kept in the village, you write there. It will give you two options: your village, or if you have a commercial farm registered under you, you indicate on that. And after you're done filling in this form, this ear tag form, this is an old ear tag form of mine. After you're done filling in this form, you return this to the state vet. The state vet will take this information and enter it onto the computer, onto the NAMLET system. Once that information is entered, you would obtain what we call a herd statement. A herd statement is a statement such as this with all your animals' ear tags on. After you obtain this herd statement, the coming weekend or whenever you can go to the farm, go with this herd statement, go to the farm and go walk in between your animals with this statement with your workers, reading out numbers, and they must find the number for you. And then you tick, just to make sure that what is on the herd statement actually is what is in your crawl. That's one thing you need to know. What is here must be reflecting the animals inside the crawl. So it's very important. So let's say on this herd statement, I want to slaughter my ox, which has the ear tag number 0026 595975. What happens there is, after I've slaughtered this animal, I need to go to the state vet. There was a booklet back in the day, but they just started printing a form, something like this, where you just indicate the ear tag of the animal and you slaughtered. Cause of death, slaughtered. So you after filling in that form, you give that form back to the state vet. So he or she can be able to enter it into the system so that animal is removed off your herd statement. I had a situation whereby we had our herd statement reflected over 200 animals. We only had 70 animals. So I had to get the herd statement and go to the farm and go do some corrections. I had to remove so many animals. So many animals were removed. Imagine removing 200 animals to come back down to only 70 animals. So I had to remove a lot of animals because if you don't do these notifications, if you don't inform them when your animal probably has been stolen and you can't find it, you have to inform them. When you've slaughtered your animal, you have to inform them. The animal died probably with ate poison, you have to inform them. The animal got eaten by a predator, you have to inform them. If you don't, that animal will reflect on your herd statement. It will say you in your crawl, you count and you say I only have 80 animals, but your herd statement can say you have over 300 animals because you're probably not doing that notification. So it's very important to do your notifications and you inform um, the vet, or you inform the veterinary department, particularly the state vet in your area, that this animal is gone or this animal is sold. What happens when you buy new animals into your herd? Do not cut off your animal you bought's ear tag from the previous owner. Don't do that. I know people do that. Don't. Leave that ear tag on that animal. The cow, because the cow or the bull you didn't breed, it is a bull or a cow that comes from outside. Give that ear tag because that tells the state vet that this animal was brought in from outside. The only thing you can do is, if it is a cow, you can only start tagging the cows born from that cow in your crawl. But the cow itself, don't cut off the ear tag. I know once my farm workers used to, when we buy new animals, they'll always cut off those old ear tags. And I tell them, you're breaking the law. You're not allowed to cut the ear tag off. Leave it on the cow. If anything happens here, if we have an illness outbreak, lung disease, lumpy skin, anything, we can quickly go back and say, I bought this cow from Mitchell Mutumba. There's the ear tag number. So it tells you where the animal originates from. Very important. If you are buying in an animal, do not remove its old ear tag. Leave that ear tag on. All you can do is brand. Like, what do I mean brand? Most of the animals in Namibia, I think worldwide, particularly in Namibia, most of our animals are always branded on the left side, if I'm not mistaken. it's always on the left side. I know most of my bulls always branded on the left side. It's the left side. Then from then, if I buy in a new bull, and let's say I bought a bull from, who can I use? Like, whose name can I use? Mashua Korupanda. They branded it on the back hip. I shouldn't come and brand over that old brand. No, you're breaking the law. That's dangerous. You shouldn't do that. You can actually be penalized for that. You need to rebrand the animal on the front leg, on the shoulder, the front shoulder. That's where you brand it. Because I know some people, when they buy in a new bull, and I bought it from Ashwa Korupanda, and it has its brand already, which is there. I think theirs is KOR. That's theirs, KOR. Now I come and say, no, it's no more theirs, it's mine. On top of that brand. You're breaking the law. You're not allowed to do that. You only brand in a new area. If it's branded on the back, hind leg, the hip, you brand on the front leg, shoulder. That's where you're supposed to brand. And make sure the brand is clear. Like I said, it is. I know many people. I've seen many farmers many a times would always go buy, would make their own personalized brand irons, which is fine. My personalized brand iron is MMS, Mitchell Mutumba Semata. It's my initials. But that is my personal one. In the crawl, if I'm in a crawl with family, people can be like, okay, that's Mitchell's one. That animal belongs to Mitchell. But when I go to an auction and they will look at the animal and they see MMS, that's okay, it's Mitchell Mutumba, but where is the brand of the crawl? Where is the identification of the crawl to be able to tell us where this animal is coming from? This is why I have this. This is what I utilize in Witflay. Any animal with this brand iron, if they go type this brand iron into their computer, it will tell them where this animal is coming from. This was mine in Witflay. Not the personal one, because I've seen people only make a personal one and they think, I have a brand iron. No. Register as a meat producer at Meat Board. Get the right brand iron, so you are seen as a producer, a livestock keeper, so you have your own. And then from there on, you get your own brand iron made. Either you want Agra to make it for you, or you want the state vet to make it for you, or you can take your certificate here with its unique brand iron logo design, and take it to somebody who can make it, and then they make it for you. That informs you, this brand iron informs people where these animals come from. Just through that brand iron and just through the ear tags. The ear tags tells the people where these animals come from, where these animals originate from, who they belong to. I know you'll sit there, but Mitchell, when people are stealing cattle, they usually cut ear tags. I've seen this. People cut. I've seen people even make where the piercing is, they cut some lines and make it big so they can be able to pull the old ear tag out. I've seen this. This is why you've seen some farmers now, and I mentioned it in the stock brand video. I think I'll add the link of its description in this video, where some farmers now are starting to tattoo their animals. They tattoo. You can buy it. You can buy this tattooing machine, the ink and the needles to do the tattooing at your agricultural stores. I think I saw it at a couple of them. You can buy it there, and I think you buy per letter or per number. You don't get them as one set. You buy them individual numbers, so forth. So you can buy that at shops. You can tattoo the inside of your ears. Some farmers who have money and are a bit advanced have started adding things like radio chipping their animals. So you can always radio chip your animal wherever you go. If they take off the ear tag, they sometimes damage the old brand mark. I can just come there with my wand and read over my cow and then capture the information to the stick. The stick tells us on the computer, animal belongs to Mitchell Mutumba Semata, Camp 911 Witflay. Some farmers have done that. I've seen a couple who've actually added chips to their animals. And then the other thing is this ear tag, this one here. This one has radio frequency. If you've gone to an auction, a commercial auction, such as the privilege that I've always had, when I'm a seller of animals, when I drop off my cattle, they would always say, Layala off, drop them off, bring them here, and then they take their wand and they would scan the ear tag. And the ear tag would scan and tell you where the animals come from, who the animals belong to, and this is their stock brand. So this is why we have to do this. I know most of the guys who are farming commercially are probably going to watch this and be like, so, but we know this. I know you know this. This is why traceability is very easy in a commercial area. It's very easy for me to go and take any ear tag, type it into a system right now, and I can find it. But in the communal area, some of our villages, some people don't know this. Some people don't do this. They don't understand why they should tag. Some go buy personalized ear tags, which probably have the initials or they write their own initials on, and then they think, I've tagged my animals. If my animal gets stolen tomorrow and the state vet is called to identify the animal, they'll be able to identify it without realizing that the animal will be identified. You can just identify the way it looks. But how do you back it up? This is why you need these records. This is why you need to tag your animals, tag them as it shows you on this picture here, tag them, and then obtain your record. This is your herd statement. That's your record. If you have this herd statement, if you lose it, it's fine. You can go get another one. You can get another one printed at the state vet because you're having your information. They've captured it. It's in the system. These are your records. If you go and there's a cow that suspiciously looks like yours, and someone else is also claiming the same cow, and you have these records, you can just go and say, officer, what is the ear tag? 00265975. Oh, it's actually my animal. I have proof. This can help you. This paper, honestly, I tell people, your herd statement can really help you in very sticky situations. It can really assist you. Once you have this, it ends an argument. If you've branded your animals clearly, if you've tattooed them, and you have proof on your herd statement that these are your animals. Some farmers have gone a step further, and I've seen it with most stud breeding fellas who stud breed livestock. Some of them have gone this far as to create their own database for their own animals, ear tag, date of birth, when it was born, whatnot, and then add a picture. Add a picture. Because unfortunate of this information, it's a paper. It just says the ear tag, the type of animal, and the class of animal. It doesn't tell you that this animal is blue, black, or red. It doesn't do that. You can do that for your own self. You can create a folder on your laptop, enter the ear tag, put a picture of your animal. So when you have a situation like in the communal areas, I know this happens in the communal areas, where, or even on farms, where maybe once your big Brahman bull jumped the fence into your neighbor, you haven't seen it for nearly 4 months, and it's on your neighbor's farm. And then the day your worker says, Munir, I saw a bull that looks like our bull in our neighbor's farm. And then you go there and you go ask your neighbor, Marai bull. No, it's not yours. It's my animal. Oh, you just say, okay, it's fine. It's fine. Let's look at the ear tag. He probably changed the ear tag. Let's look at the brand mark. He probably didn't brand it. But what do you have to save you? You have your herd statement. You have your own personal records. You have the herd statement and you have your own personal records, such as you've written down the ear tags, you've taken pictures of your bull. And you can say, come, my friend, here's my phone. Here's my phone. Let me go into that folder. Here's the folder. This is my animal's ear tag, and this is how it looks like. Just look at this animal. Officer, look at this animal, look at that animal. Don't they look very shockingly the same? Yeah. And plus, this bull of mine is red, and it has a white stomach. Doesn't that bull have the same thing? Yeah, it has. There we go. Some stud farmers do that actually. They actually do that to protect themselves because just having your ear tags on a paper is good. It protects you. But it doesn't really describe the animal. It doesn't show how the animal looks like. So if you can go that extra mile to create a folder for yourself where you have your ear tag number of your animal, and on top of having the ear tag number of the animal, you have a picture of the animal for physical demonstration how the animal looks like. You're good. You'll see this on many stud breeders' websites where they'd have the animal, the identification, and then they'd have the picture of the animal, how it looks like. Do that. Do that. So I'd encourage every farmer, length and breadth of Namibia, even in South Africa, let us register ourselves as livestock farmers. Let's register ourselves as stock keepers. Let's obtain our stock keeping identification from the right bodies, such as this one is the Meat Board of Namibia. Obtain this. Once you have this, which is your own, whether you are sharing a kraal with your father, as long as you have your own stock brand, you're always good to go. It protects you. You can get your own personalized, you can get your own unique ear tags to you as a farmer, and it can always protect you. Rather than just going to go create a personalized stock brand, which is, a personalized branding iron ear tag, which is good, but go do that. That will give you cover and it will always help you. And this information will always be recorded on the systems, which means you will always have backup if something happens. Because I know every time I talk to people or we debate about the red line in the Zambezi region or the red line in the northern part, many people speak about traceability being a problem. If we can all register, obtain this from the state vet, get our ear tags, always fill in this form of our ear tags, fill it in, fill this form of our ear, fill this form of our ear tags, fill it in, and take them in so we obtain our herd statements. This can help with making traceability within the communal areas very easily, where we know where the animal comes from, who's crawled, who's the owner of the animal. It makes life easy for us. So I think let us do that, man. Let all of us as livestock keepers, if you haven't registered yet, go to the meat board, take your identification information, and go register with the meat board. Get that card, get that certificate, and go from there. That helps a lot. That's it, ladies and gentlemen. I just want to say bye for now.